As the Pussycat goes purr. The first night the cat came into my life, the city hummed with rain. A cold drizzle painted the streets of Eastbrook, neon lights bleeding into puddles like bruises. I hadn't planned on owning a pet, but there she was, perched on my window ledge, eyes like molten gold, staring as if she already knew me. I named her Marlowe. At 33, I was a writer living in a half-lit apartment, stacked with drafts and rejection letters. Inspiration had grown thin, like cheap whiskey watered down. Marlowe wasn't ordinary. No, she carried an energy that prowled the air around her, thick and electric. The first thing I noticed was the silence. When she moved, the room didn't just grow quiet, it listened. I'd follow her eyes and find shadows where there shouldn't be, doorways that looked deeper than the walls they were set in. One evening, chasing after her through the apartment, I stumbled in the dark. Should have cracked my head on the hardwood. Instead, I twisted midair and landed soft, knees bent, steady as a dancer, like a cat. The changes didn't stop there. Nights grew strange. I'd dream of alleys I'd never walked, filled with black smoke curling like fur, of staircases climbing nowhere, and of mirrors where my reflection blinked with slitted pupils. I'd wake with the taste of dust in my mouth, as though I'd been prowling forgotten corners of the city. Marlowe would curl around my ankles, purring like the low rumble of an engine. That sound, it wasn't just a sound. It was a key, unlocking something old inside me. By the third week, I stopped using the door. It happened accidentally. I followed Marlowe into the kitchen, only she didn't stop there. She padded into the pantry and slipped through the back wall like it was a curtain. I didn't think. I walked forward. Bricks melted like smoke and I was through, into a back alley bathed in violet light. The air was heavy, spiced with ozone and something primal. I could hear claws scratching distant rooftops, whispers in a language older than the city itself. I'd crossed into another dimension, one stitched together by feline energy. I moved differently there, agile, quiet, my senses sharper, skin prickling with awareness of every shadow that breathed. Time was fluid in that place. An hour stretched and snapped like a rubber band. Sometimes I prowled for minutes, sometimes for nights. But I always came back before dawn, landing on my feet, Marlowe at my side. People began to notice the change. My neighbors eyed me warily, muttering about how I moved too smoothly, too silently. A bartender down on Madison told me my eyes looked like they belonged to a hunter. He wasn't wrong. It should have frightened me, but it didn't. It felt natural, inevitable, like the cat had only woken something already inside me. One night, rain streaked across my windows and Marlowe leapt onto my desk, scattering half-finished manuscripts. She purred, louder than ever before. That sound filled the room, filling me with visions. Ink dripping like blood, words stalking the page like predators. I saw the story before I wrote it, a tale of shadow, instinct, and the eternal whisper of feline energy. I wrote until dawn. The city outside blurred, but my words cut sharp. Each sentence landed on the page as smooth as paws on cobblestone. The title came to me without hesitation, born from Marlowe's rumble and the new pulse in my veins. As the Pussycat goes purr. When I set down the pen, Marlowe curled in my lap, eyes gleaming. I wasn't just writing anymore. I was channeling, living proof that some stories don't come from the mind, they come from the shadows.